Hi, welcome to another product walkthrough video of RightsWATCH. Let us now see how a sysadmin, in this case John Doe, is able to define ITA, Intelligent Time Access, to information that is classified with a particular level of classification, and how, after a certain moment in time, a certain date in the future, that information automatically reclassifies itself to something else. So it chooses to apply ITA to restricted. Restricted is a non-RMS protected level. That means it does not invoke RMS protection nor the uses and access controls. It's purely data classification. And John Doe decides to enable ITA for 7, 15, or 30 days, and after which, depending on whatever the user that has that option chooses to apply, those files become reserved. So after 7, 15, or 30 days, depending on what the user chooses to, everything that is classified as restricted becomes reserved. Reserved is also a non-RMS enabled level of classification, and ITA will only apply to non-RMS encrypted levels. It means it applies for RightsWatch in data classification only mode. Again, enabling ITA on reserved means that after 7, 15, or 30 days, depending again on a user decision, a designated user decision, the files become public. This is particularly interesting for files that are sensitive in nature until a certain period in time, after which they no longer need to hold that sensitivity because they're no longer restricted or reserved and they become public. This is an automated way to allow that reclassification to be done without asking the users to reclassify it manually. And that is done by granting designated users inside, in this case, the role Project X, the ability to apply ITA to the several levels of classification that they have available. In this case, because we have enabled it, we will apply ITA to restricted and to the reserved levels of classification. Syncing it will mean that the policy will be automatically applied. Now, turning into the user interface and showing what does that mean from a user perspective, we will now open up a Word file and we will save that file as restricted. And you will see that as soon as I save the file as restricted, other options, additional options, are shown to the user. These options will only be shown to the users that have ITA available and if that level has ITA enabled. So I'm saving this file into my desktop, chose to apply restricted, and immediately it has extra options available for me. So if I click here and I define ITA, I can choose from the available options that were made available to me by my sysadmin. So that means that I'm choosing to say and to define a policy by which after 7 days, which means after the 23rd of April 2015, this file will automatically reclassify in himself from restricted into reserved. So I'm saving this into my desktop. I will save this file as restricted, and you will see that headers, footers, watermarks with dynamic watermarking capability are automatically added to the Word file in this case. And we will now fast forward this video into the 24th of April. So if you see on the bottom right hand corner, it is now the 24th of April 2015, a day after the ITA was defined, so that the file was reclassified itself into reserved. And now the file, as soon as I open it, it as the reserve with the appropriate headers, with the appropriate watermarks and the footers that were chosen to be applied to reserve as a classification level.